Picture this. You're living in a world where towering metal cities scrape the clouds, and technology has reached unimaginable heights, and humanity has split into two completely different species. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. The people living in primitive conditions on the surface might actually hold the key to ultimate power. Welcome to the mind-bending universe of Patrick Tilley's AMTRAK Wars, where everything you think you know about civilization, progress, and human evolution gets turned completely upside down. Today, we're diving deep into one of science fiction's most underrated masterpieces, Cloud Warrior, the explosive first book in the AMTRAK Wars series. This isn't just another post-apocalyptic story. This is a revolutionary tale that challenges every assumption about technology, spirituality, and what it truly means to be human in a world that's been shattered and rebuilt from the ground up. Cloud Warrior represents Patrick Tilley's ambitious entry into the realm of epic science fiction, published during the golden age of speculative literature, when authors weren't afraid to tackle massive themes and complex world building. Tilley crafts a narrative that seamlessly blends hard science fiction elements with mystical spirituality, creating a unique reading experience that defies easy categorization. Set in a future Earth that has been fundamentally transformed by nuclear catastrophe, the novel introduces readers to a world where humanity has evolved along two distinct paths. The Federation represents the pinnacle of technological achievement, with their citizens living in massive underground complexes and travelling in sophisticated aircraft. Meanwhile, the planefolk survive on the irradiated surface, maintaining a connection to ancient spiritual practices that the technologically advanced Federation has long abandoned. What sets Cloud Warrior apart from typical post-apocalyptic fiction is Tilley's sophisticated approach to the relationship between technology and mysticism. Rather than presenting these as opposing forces, he explores how they might complement and enhance each other in unexpected ways. The novel asks profound questions about progress, evolution, and whether humanity's future lies in embracing advanced technology or returning to more fundamental spiritual connections. Tilley's writing style combines the epic scope of classic space opera with intimate character development, creating a story that operates effectively on multiple levels. The world building is meticulously detailed, with every aspect of both societies carefully constructed to feel authentic and lived in. The author doesn't simply describe his futuristic world, he makes readers believe in it completely. The book serves as both an entertaining adventure story and a thoughtful meditation on themes that remain remarkably relevant today, including environmental destruction, social inequality, and the potential consequences of unchecked technological advancement. The story centres around Steve Brickman, a young wingman in the Federation's elite forces who becomes entangled in a mission that will fundamentally alter his understanding of reality. When Brickman's aircraft crashes in the wastelands inhabited by the planefolk, he expects to encounter primitive savages barely surviving in the nuclear wasteland left behind by the ancient war known as the Holocaust. Instead, Brickman discovers that the planefolk possess extraordinary abilities that seem to defy scientific explanation. They can predict weather patterns, heal injuries through touch, and demonstrate an almost supernatural connection to the natural world around them. Most shocking of all, some among them possess the power of earth magic, abilities that the technologically superior Federation believe to be nothing more than superstitious nonsense. Brickman finds himself captured by the planefolk, specifically by the McCall clan, where he encounters Clearwater, a young woman whose magical abilities far exceed anything he thought possible. As he spends time amongst these supposed primitives, Brickman begins to question everything he has been taught about Federation's superiority and the true nature of human potential. The narrative follows Brickman's gradual transformation from a loyal Federation soldier to someone who must choose between two completely different ways of understanding the world. His journey becomes both a physical adventure across dangerous terrain and a spiritual awakening that challenges his most fundamental beliefs about reality, progress, and human nature. As tensions escalate between the Federation and various planefolk clans, Brickman finds himself caught in the middle of a conflict that threatens to reshape the future of human civilization. The story builds toward revelations that suggest the relationship between these two societies is far more complex and interconnected than either side fully understands. The opening sequence establishes the stark contrast between Federation technology and planefolk survival skills when Brickman's reconnaissance mission goes catastrophically wrong. His advanced aircraft, representing centuries of technological development, crashes in territory controlled by the McCall clan. This event serves as more than just a plot device. It symbolises the collision between two fundamentally different approaches to human existence and sets up the central tension that drives the entire narrative forward. Brickman's capture by the McCall clan reveals the sophisticated social structure that exists among the planefolk, challenging Federation assumptions about surface dwellers being primitive savages. The clan operates according to complex tradition, spiritual beliefs, and leadership hierarchies that have evolved over centuries of survival in harsh conditions. Tilley uses this section to demonstrate how different forms of intelligence and wisdom can develop when societies face different challenges and adopt different values. The introduction of Clearwater marks a crucial turning point in both plot and character development. Her earth magic abilities represent something that Federation science cannot explain or replicate, forcing Brickman to confront the limitations of his technological worldview. Clearwater's powers include healing, weather prediction, and communication with natural forces, abilities that suggest human potential extends far beyond what Federation society recognises or cultivates. Brickman's gradual integration into McCall clan life becomes a process of cultural immersion that transforms his understanding of community, leadership, and individual purpose. He witnesses how the planefolk make decisions collectively, how they maintain harmony with their environment, and how they pass down knowledge through oral traditions rather than technological storage systems. This experience forces him to question whether the Federation's approach to human organisation and progress is actually superior. The revelation of Brickman's own latent magical abilities represents the story's most significant plot development. His discovery that he possesses earth magic powers suggests that the division between Federation and planefolk may be artificial, and that human potential has been artificially limited by technological dependence. This development raises questions about genetic inheritance, cultural conditioning, and whether the Federation has actually weakened humanity by suppressing natural abilities. The escalating conflict between Federation forces and planefolk clans demonstrates how misunderstanding and fear can drive societies toward destructive confrontation. Both sides operate from incomplete information about the other, leading to decisions based on prejudice rather than accurate assessment. Tilley uses these conflict scenes to explore themes about communication, diplomacy, and the tragic consequences of cultural arrogance. The climactic battles showcase both technological warfare and magical combat, creating spectacular action sequences that serve deeper thematic purposes. These confrontations reveal that neither pure technology nor pure magic alone provides ultimate advantage, suggesting that synthesis rather than dominance might offer the path toward human advancement. The battles also demonstrate how individual choices can influence larger historical movements. The book's conclusion sets up future conflicts while revealing that the relationship between Federation and planefolk involves secrets and connections that neither society fully understands. These revelations suggest that the apparent opposition between technological and spiritual approaches to human development may be masking a more complex underlying reality that will require both societies to fundamentally reconsider their assumptions about themselves and each other. One of the most powerful lessons Cloud Warrior offers concerns the danger of technological arrogance and the assumption that advanced tools automatically indicate superior wisdom or understanding. The Federation's sophisticated aircraft, weapons, and communication systems initially appear to demonstrate their superiority over the surface-dwelling planefolk. However, as the story unfolds, readers discover that technological advancement can actually limit human potential by creating dependence on external tools rather than developing internal capabilities. The planefolk's earth magic abilities represent human potential that the Federation has completely abandoned in favour of mechanical solutions. The novel explores how different environmental pressures create different forms of intelligence and adaptation, challenging readers to reconsider narrow definitions of progress and advancement. The Federation developed underground cities and aerial technology in response to surface radiation, while the planefolk developed spiritual practices and magical abilities that allow them to thrive in the same supposedly hostile environment. Neither approach is inherently superior. Both represent successful adaptive strategies to different aspects of post-catastrophe existence. Tilley demonstrates how prejudice and assumptions based on surface appearances can prevent meaningful understanding between different groups. Brickman initially views the planefolk as primitive because they lack visible technology, while the planefolk consider Federation people to be spiritually dead because they cannot connect with natural forces. Both perspectives contain partial truths but miss the complete picture, leading to conflict that might be avoided through genuine communication and mutual respect. The The story illustrates how individual transformation often requires stepping outside comfortable cultural boundaries and experiencing radically different ways of life. Brickman's character development depends entirely on his forced immersion in McCall clan culture, which challenges every assumption he holds about proper human behaviour, social organisation and individual purpose. His growth demonstrates that personal evolution often requires abandoning familiar security to embrace uncertainty and new possibilities. Cloud Warrior reveals how oral traditions and spiritual practices can preserve essential knowledge that written records and technological storage systems might lose or distort. The Plainfolk maintain detailed understanding of weather patterns, natural cycles, and human psychological development through storytelling, ritual, and direct experience rather than digital databases. Their methods prove remarkably effective at transmitting complex information across generations while maintaining cultural cohesion and individual connection to larger purposes. The novel explores the relationship between individual abilities and community support systems, showing how personal gifts develop most effectively within encouraging social structures. Clearwater's magical powers flourish because McCall clan culture recognises, nurtures and provides appropriate training for such abilities. Meanwhile, Federation society would likely suppress or pathologise similar capabilities because they fall outside accepted scientific parameters, suggesting that societal attitudes strongly influence human potential. Tilley examines how conflict often stems from incomplete information rather than genuine incompatibility, offering hope that seemingly irreconcilable differences might be resolved through better understanding. The Federation and Plainfolk appear to be natural enemies, but their conflict actually results from mutual misunderstanding about each other's capabilities, motivations, and ultimate goals. The story suggests that many apparently intractable human conflicts might be similarly based on false assumptions rather than fundamental opposition. The book demonstrates how synthesis between different approaches often proves more powerful than choosing one approach over another. Brickman's growing magical abilities, combined with his Federation training, create possibilities that neither pure technology nor pure spirituality could achieve alone. This theme suggests that human advancement might require integration rather than rejection of seemingly contradictory methods and perspectives. Finally, Cloud Warrior illustrates how individual choices can influence historical trajectories, empowering readers to consider their own potential impact on larger social and cultural developments. Brickman's decisions about loyalty, identity, and values don't just affect his personal story, they influence the relationship between two entire civilizations and potentially alter the future direction of human evolution. Cloud Warrior stands as a remarkable achievement in science fiction literature, successfully combining spectacular world building with profound philosophical inquiry into questions that remain urgently relevant today. Patrick Tilley has created a story that operates simultaneously as thrilling adventure and thoughtful meditation on human potential, technological progress, and cultural evolution. The novel's greatest strength lies in its refusal to offer simple answers to complex questions about civilization and progress, rather than declaring either technology or spirituality superior. Tilley explores how different approaches to human development might complement each other in unexpected ways. This nuanced perspective elevates Cloud Warrior above typical genre fiction into something approaching literary significance. For contemporary readers, the book offers valuable insight into current debates about environmental responsibility, cultural diversity, and the proper relationship between technological capability and human wisdom. The Federation's underground cities and advanced machinery parallel our own increasing dependence on complex technologies, while the Plainfolk's earth magic abilities represent forms of knowledge and connection that modern society often overlooks or dismisses. The story's emphasis on individual transformation through cultural immersion provides a powerful model for personal growth that extends far beyond the science fiction genre. Brickman's journey from cultural prejudice to genuine understanding demonstrates that meaningful change requires willingness to abandon comfortable assumptions and embrace radically different perspectives on reality and human possibility. Cloud Warrior succeeds both as entertainment and as serious speculative fiction that encourages readers to examine their own assumptions about progress, civilization, and human potential. It stands as the perfect introduction to an epic series that promises to explore these themes with even greater depth and complexity in subsequent volumes.